Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, namaste, sat sri akal, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Salam alaikum. I'm very, very confident all of you guys are thriving there in euphoria, and so am I. It's a beautiful day, and let's start with the chanting. So, Munchkins, I am very sure all of you are thriving there in euphoria, and so am I. And today we are talking about the abandoned, and it's a very close to it's a subject that's very close to my heart because I had been abandoned physically. I had been abandoned mentally. I had been abandoned emotionally. I had been abandoned spiritually. But I was not abandoned financially. No, I was never. Yes, I was living with a lack mindset all my life due to my personal insecurities that I had grown or accumulated over the time within me due to the abandonment. So, but I've never been financially abandoned. I have been a very strong character, being Aries and very strong in my chart. Scorpio being very strong in my chart. I have never felt any fear, any backlog or setback to face my fear or run away from my fear or but I have always felt lack because I had been abandoned in other areas of my life, and it was nobody's intention to abandon me. That was a pattern, that was my karma, which I had to learn my lessons, and that's why I experienced all those abandonment, and that became my reality, that manifested into my reality. But I saw those patterns within myself. I cleared my karma, I cleared and released those behaviors, those perceptions, and I worked on myself. So if you are one of them who feel abandoned, or you are dealing with people around you who are gaslighting you, or who are insecure, who are scared, who feel anxious and depressed due to their self abandonment issues, and which goes back to the childhood, right? And it becomes a subconscious pattern that we have three characters within us as per the psychological transaction analysis, and even we understand, we feel it every day. We have three characters. We have an inner child, we have a adult, and we have a wise old knowledgeable or wise, I would say, who's experienced, who is like your parent, right? Not your parent generally, who is a teacher, who is a profound, a person who is wise, who has experienced, who has learned, who has seen, who has lived those, matters, and, observed and learned and did their faced their karma and released those patterns, and who's become wiser over the period. We have these three characters inside of us. One is the inner child, which is completely innocent, who likes to take, who likes to get out, be spontaneous, be adventurous, be trust, go and trust the unknown and take risk and be the fool, jump into things and be playful. That's the inner child. And the adult within us who take action, who falls down, who learns from our lessons and then learn to observe and then sometimes don't take the lessons and repeat it and then become very intellectual and strong minded, strong headed, that you know, very logical, that this works for me, this doesn't work for me, so I got to work like this or strategize this. This is the adult side, right? Who wants to know things, who's a seeker, who wants to set beliefs, who wants to make a difference, make a change, who wants to move forward, who wants to succeed. And then there is a wise person inside of us who has seen all of this, who has observed, and then who likes to uh, be more calmer, be with themselves, be look at things from higher perspective and let things embrace for what it is and let things to unfold the way it should be. I'm talking about the wise people, not person who is of old age or you know, or a parent or a grandparent, not like that. Who is wise, who is aware, who is self-aware, who understands, who observes, who perceive things from you know, bird's eye view, who embrace things for what it is, who let people be for who they are, who accepts and appreciates, right? So we have all these three characters inside of us. So when the abandonment happens, the abandonment happens to the child. You know, the child gets abandoned physically, mentally, emotionally. The nurturing doesn't happen properly, and then that stays in the subconscious, and the adult feels insecure and behaves and lives a life from that space of abandonment what the inner child is. Like the inner child wants, I want to go express love. I want to go take that job. I want to go see that place. I want to go to the jungle and look, play with the animals. It's like the inner child, right? Who wants to? I want to go. You know, talk to that these kids and neighbors and play and learn about it. Watch, cook something with them. And but the adult who thinks, who has gained a ego, a rigid perspective, strategize things. No, you can't just go and disturb somebody. No, you can't just take risk. No, you have to have a practical plan. You need to know everything. Every time that interference, that ego, that logic, that reasoning, right? And then the wise person who observes and who look at things from a higher perspective, who sees, who doesn't abandon both the inner child or the adult. Listen to the inner child, take risk wherever they need to, make changes, be playful, be spontaneous, at the same time be the adult, listen to people, share with them, be vulnerable, and at the same time be wise and um, give those wisdom and advice and be understanding, you know. And it's when there is a balance between all the three characters within us, when we heal all three, then we don't feel insecure, we don't feel depressed, we don't feel abandoned. Then we take risk in balance, in calculative risks we take. And then the adult who feels nurtured, who feels loved, who feels whole, who feels grounded, secure, stable and confident to go get out there and do things which is in alignment with their purpose, and not settle for less or be follow what everybody follows or something like that, right? Not rigid, right? When there is a balance, when there is a healing happens of the abandonment, and when you feel whole, then there is a balance. And then the wise person is active every time you see things, you understand, I would not abandon the child, or neither do I abandon the adult. I would embrace both. I would embrace all the characters within others also, and let all the three characters in them also be nurtured. So you be considerative, you be kind, you be compassionate, you be human. That's your wisdom, because you are nurturing all the three within you, then you are nurturing all the three within others. So it is very important that we understand why are we behaving a certain way, why are we thinking a certain way, why are we living a certain way, why do we perceive a certain way, why do we act a certain way, or why somebody in our surrounding is doing being a certain way. There is a deep psychological space for from where the behavior, the patterns are built is coming from the subconscious, right? So there's all these three characters are always seeking for not these three, both those two characters are seeking for validation, the adult and the child. The child likes it when somebody looks and say protects or say, oh, it's nice, and the adult likes to be rewarded or paid for, or appreciated or loved or recognized, right? But the wise one doesn't seek for all that. Observes, understands, does it work, and get out from there. There's no attachment there. So when those two are healed and those two are balanced, the wise one takes over and let other two feel nurtured and not overpower things or manipulate things or control over things. And then when you don't control over all the other two characters, when you don't control them, then you have complete control on your life. Then you manifest things which is in alignment, you restore well-being, and you live a life of completeness, wholeness, self-sufficiency, confidence, right? Happiness, abundance, and so it is, and so it is. So that's what it is all about. It's the abandoned child that becomes a rigid and insecure adult which seeks for healing. The wise one is telling, screaming at you, come, let me heal, let me heal both of you, sit with me, come inside, go take the journey inward. Both of you will feel healed, listen to me, and then I'll guide you. The wise one is your spirit. I'll guide you, I'll walk with you, your higher self. I'll always give you strength and courage when you're falling, but you got to fall. Then only you will know how strong you are, and you will become a self-made individual. And then you will always feel confident to get out there and face your fears and be spontaneous, be childish, be while being mature, be considerate, be consistent in your vision, in your desires, in your connections, be honest, be vulnerable, and not feel embarrassed or any low self-esteem or lack mindset. That won't be there, right? So all you understand why you feel a certain way, your insecurities, your anxieties. It's because of the lack of emotional nurturing, mental strength, or that validation, that heard, that being loved was not given to you completely, or whoever around you. It's so easy to judge, but it is completely wise to perceive things, observe and perceive things from a higher perspective. That's what is missing, and that's what is. It's not to fix anyone, but to fill those space with love and light, so that the dark can integrate with light and there won't be any emptiness. Everybody can feel wholeness and live their life in fullness and totality, right? With no attachment to any outcome or expectations, and there is no disappointment, there is all well-being. So understand that yes, most of us have been abandoned unconsciously, because everybody were living their karma, their patterns, their knowings, their awareness. Either it's our family, our teachers, social environment, our relatives, our friends, all of that, right? So we were demonstrating, we were reflecting, we were projecting our fear, our insecurities. There, our elders were projecting there, and they passed on to us, and we are passing on to each other. So it's the abandonment that needs to heal. So healing is so important, not that we sideline it, oh, I'll run away and do something and forget about it. No, that doesn't work like that. You've got to heal, either with a professional help or self-help. You find your own direction, your path, your way, but your way must take you where you deserve to be, not where you want to be right now, but where you deserve to be. Because sometimes you will want things as per your awareness, but where you deserve is where your wise self knows that you deserve all of the best, best of everything, best of yourself, not everything, but every self of you, whole self of you. So let's heal the abandoned. Let's consider the inner child. Let's consider the adult. Let's break free from the rigid mindset, the beliefs, the patterns that was limiting us, and start loving ourselves. Start the journey of self love, right? I'm sending you all love and light and quantum healing energies. Write to me if you have something to share, want to share your story, or you need any guidance. And yeah, that's all. And I was thinking I'll mention about it another time to start something in the channel. However, take care of yourself. And another thing, I'm starting my podcast very soon with a creative and business partner of mine. We both are starting a podcast. So it will be everywhere. We are still planning what other platforms will be launching our podcast. So in the podcast, there will be both audio and video. Many times I will be going single on video, and my partner mostly will be doing audio. But we'll be having guests every week. We're planning every week or fortnight. We'll see, and then. Um, we'll talk on different subjects, different themes, and the podcast will be completely different from this channel. This channel is connecting and sharing love, and that is more of inspiration, sharing life stories of different individuals and how they have expanded their consciousness and outgrown and broke free from those barriers and limitations and all of that. And it's just a small gift to the humankind that we both, me and my business partner, have been discussing about and working on the content in the background. So very soon I'll announce about it and share the links of my podcast, our podcast. My partner's gonna kill me if I'm not gonna mention about him. So yeah, take care of yourself and tune in soon.